against the poor, against the rich, I mean, in defense of the poor. So why would a tax collector with a lifestyle of cheating, betrayal, want to see Jesus? The Jesus who might say bad things about him. Why? What do you think, brothers and sisters? Where is this search for Jesus? Where is this interest in Jesus coming from? We don't know. But one thing is sure, there must be something good in Zacchaeus for him to desire to see Jesus. There must be a source of good in him for him to do the extra mile, to take the extra mile, to take the extra effort to see Jesus. There must be something good in this public sinner. And when Jesus passed by, Jesus saw Zacchaeus, as though Jesus was also searching for Zacchaeus. Two hearts searching for each other, and they met. And Jesus did the unimaginable. He called Zacchaeus by name. Zacchaeus, come down. Zacchaeus, come down. I mean to stay in your house today. Zacchaeus, the name Zacchaeus, as though shaking Zacchaeus, do you know your name? I'm calling you by name. And what is the meaning of your name? God remembered. At this moment, Zacchaeus, God remembers you. God knows you. I want to assure you, Zacchaeus, you are not forgotten. You are very much present in God's heart, in God's memory. I know you by name. I will never forget you. And I want to stay in your house today. That meeting of eyes, the locking of eyes, the eyes of Jesus and the eyes of Zacchaeus, and the tender calling of name, reaching to the depths of the meaning of that name, salvation has begun. The lost has slowly been found. The Word of God is searching for the one who is lost. But the lost has never been forgotten. And look at the scandal this caused. When Jesus ate in the house of Zacchaeus, people started murmuring. For I said, no pious Jew would want to be associated with a public sinner. But look at the effect in Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus said, if I had defrauded or cheated anyone in the least, I would pay him or her, pay him back fourfold. Wow! For a known cheater, that is too much. In fact, that was beyond what the law prescribes. According to the law, if you have stolen some money from a neighbor, you restore. You have to return the money. And as an act of added justice, you pay 1/5, the amount of 1/5 of your wealth in addition to what you restore. Oh, but Zacchaeus did something more beyond what the law dictates. He will pay what he has defrauded 4 times, not just 1/5 of his wealth. And then Zacchaeus said, half of my belongings I will give to the poor. Now, that's again going beyond the law. The law says a person who is repentant must show it by giving the amount of 1/5 of his wealth to the poor as an initial installment. And every year, you measure again, no? You gauge 1/5 of your wealth. But, wow, Zacchaeus, 1/2 of what I own will go to the poor. There must be something good in this person. And this led to Jesus' pronouncement, salvation has come to this house. This is salvation. God remembering even the greatest of sinners. God visiting, searching for the sinner before the sinner could even search for God. God entering not only the house of a sinner, but the heart of a sinner. And in the heart of a sinner like Zacchaeus, justice, compassion comes out. Salvation has come. Zacchaeus is one of the creatures of God, and God will save him. God has a calling for Zacchaeus, and God will sustain that calling. Jesus manifests that love of God, spoken of in wisdom, and shown to us by St. Paul. Zacchaeus has been saved because Zacchaeus belongs to God. God remembers and will search for many more Zacchaeuses up to our time. This is the mission of the church as sacrament of salvation. Let me end this with a short story. You know, when I was a seminarian, I had the opportunity to visit a plantation, a hacienda. And of course, you know, during that time, the height of martial law and activism, our hearts were for the poor, and rightly so. And we didn't want to be associated with the hacienderos, the landowners, as though, they belong somewhere else. I won't tell you where. But basta, no, yung parang galit na galit ka. I visited one hacienda, and I was introduced to the grandson of the original haciendero. And at once, my instinct told me, this is the oppressor. Have nothing to do with him. So I was quite cold towards him. He was trying to converse with us, make small talk, but I was really cold. And I was not hiding it. I was showing him that I had no interest in him. But then, in the afternoon, after lunch, where we were having coffee, he tried, I noticed it, he cornered me. And he said, casually, I've been suffering. I've been bearing the sins of my ancestors. And I have seen the effects of their evil ways. I want to reverse that history. And I want to make amends, not only for my sins, but for the sins of my ancestors. Half of my inheritance I will give to the farmers. I could not believe what I heard. But he was sincere. And that evening, in the community gathering of the Sacadas, he fell on his knees, begged forgiveness, and begged them to receive not his gift, but what rightfully belongs to them. And I heard the local priest behind me whispering, said, "Oh, this is a modern-day Zacchaeus. Salvation has come." I won't forget that. I will never forget that. The word has been exposed. Let us now fulfill it.